Hello, my name is Phillip McCurry, and I'm excited today to give my video interview for Yanfeng Automotive Interiors. Currently, I'm a senior at Tennessee Tech University studying manufacturing and engineering technology. Now let's move on to the interview questions. Question 1. When you were a kid, who did you want to be when you grew up? Throughout my life, I've always looked up to early innovators in design and STEM, early innovators like Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci that had a big footprint in early design and starting the way that we design and perform engineering operations today. I also look up to current innovators in STEM fields like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk that have made significant contributions to uh, making mass manufacturing and additive manufacturing greener and cleaner for the planet, so that way we can mass produce products and keep our planet clean for years to come. I also look up to my parents, my grandparents, my extended family, my friends and teachers. I've always looked up to them and looked to them for guidance, and I think it's through their teachings and the work ethic that I've formed for myself over the years that is the reason why I am where I am today. Moving on to question 2. Question 2 is, give an example of when you had to work with someone who was difficult to get along with. How did you handle interactions with that person? In a computer-aided design class that I took during my junior year of college, I was part of a 5-person team for the capstone project for the class. 2 of the students in my group had similar personalities and fought regularly about who would lead the group meetings, set up the group meetings, and assign tasks for others in the group. But their regular disagreements were hurting our team's performance. After recognizing this problem, I suggested that we assign tasks and roles for each assignment within the project so that we each would have a turn at working in each member role. So essentially, we would start with one leader, one scribe, one designer, etc. And then when we moved to the next phase of the project, we would change leaders, change scribes, change designers, and so forth. And that way, each student could shine with their uniqueness in each role, and we would have more of a say so in each role to sort of cipher out the bad from the good in each role and determine what was the best outcome for our project. Initially, this plan was met with reluctance by the 2 fighting students, but we went forward with the plan. The group voted on it, and quickly the 2 fighting students on the team realized that the strengths of everyone would shine in this way and that it was necessary for the team's success. And by the end of the semester, our project turned out successful. Moving on to question 3. Question 3 is, what are the 3 things that are most important to you in a job? 3 things that are important to me in a job is 1, being able to learn new things and develop my skill set. I found that I am always curious to learn something new, whether I'm learning new technologies and how companies' operations take place, or just learning the names of my work colleagues. Learning new things to grow my skills and help promote success for myself, my colleagues, and the overall operations that I am involved in is super important to me. The second important thing that is important to me is honesty. Honesty is important because it promotes clear communication and directives within the organization when teams are working on projects. Without honesty, uh, communication becomes unclear and products may ultimately fail. Having honesty increases motivation for everybody because they feel like the company is open and the group is open to communication and getting things done the right way, and it makes everybody feel supported when everybody can communicate and get their work done in a timely manner and get the project done right. The third thing that's important to me is having work that is challenging. Being able to work on projects that are challenging keeps me interested and excited. And just keeping busy is something that I enjoy because otherwise I feel underutilized. I don't feel interested when I'm sitting around doing nothing, waiting for a project to come my way, or or just doing busy work, essentially, just easy work to pass the time. Moving on to question 4. Question 4 is, give an example of an occasion when you use logic to solve a problem. On my first internship that I ever got with Wright Brothers Construction Company, we had an issue with a lot of water from pilot hole drilling running into the ditchway below and flooding the railroad tracks that we were building a bridge over. The Wright Brothers supervisors decided on installing silt fence in an effort to stop the water from getting to the tracks. But as the water came running out of the pilot holes, the silt fence ultimately couldn't contain the large amounts of water, and the water pushed the fence over. I noticed this issue and talked to the project manager and the supervisors about pumping the water up the hill into a reservoir bag that would allow the water to run smoothly out of the other opening in the bag and into water storage tanks to be used again in drilling the next pilot hole. The project manager and supervisors loved my idea and put my plan into action. My plan ultimately ended up saving the company thousands of dollars in water costs, keeping everything dry so workers didn't have to wear mud boots to complete their duties, and keeping the railroad tracks clear for trains to pass safely through the job site. Question 5 is, what was the first thing you ever designed? The first thing I ever really designed was a flashlight. I made it for a design assignment for a pre-engineering class that I took in high school. It was a basic flashlight in terms of functionality, but the housing was custom designed to include finger grips on each side of the handle for maximum grip. It included a black rubber button for the on-off switch, and then it was black to stand out against the red flashlight housing. The reason it was rubber was to increase the waterproofing of the flashlight. I also incorporated a 45-degree angled reflective cone just behind the flashlight, just behind the light bulb of the flashlight, to produce maximum light output. And then I ended up ultimately 3D printing the housing and a few other parts of the flashlight, and I went to the hardware store, bought some wiring and a few other electrical components, and I ended up actually assembling this flashlight. And the teacher for the class loved my flashlight, and he loved what I did for the project, and he ended up keeping my flashlight to show future students what they could possibly design to complete the objectives of the project. It essentially got them thinking about what they could design to complete the requirements of the project. And the light bulb project ultimately ended up being a success for me in the end. That's all for the questions. Thank you all for potentially allowing me to be an intern for Yanfeng Automotive Interiors. I'm thankful for that, and I look forward to talking with you all in the future. Thank you for the opportunity. Hope you have a great day.